This week, one of my closest friends from my childhood died. And I haven't seen her for many years. And I've been going through a process of a lot of sadness, processing my sadness, but also processing shame and guilt. Because with this friend, we were growing up, and I remember that I really hurt her. And one particular time that I remember that I hurt her was when our class was over. Me and my other friends, we went to the bathroom and we started gossiping about her in a really cruel manner. We were talking about what she looks like and that we don't like her. I think I was about 11. And next thing, the door in the bathroom opens because she was actually in one of the bathrooms, compartments. And she just comes out, and I can see that face on her that look on her face where she was strong. If that happened to me, I would be crying. She was strong, she was independent, and she could take it. And she was just a powerful little being. And she showed us that she was there, and she heard it, and she just walked past us. And I felt incredible shame throughout my whole life about this, and I never spoke to her about it. Every time I seen her when I was an adult, I kind of felt polite around her because I didn't know what to do with this shame inside of her. And recently I've been writing a list of amends to all of my people in my life because I truly believe that my relationships, just if they are clear, then I can be more loving in my life, and it's just so much more liberating. And she was on my list. However, I didn't go home for the past maybe 4 years. And even last time when I saw her, that was 6 years ago, I remember I met her and we just said, hey, let's meet up. And we never met up. That was the last time I spoke to her, just briefly on the street. I was planning to go home last summer and I didn't. I would have spoken to her and I didn't. And now she passed. And I know there's many of you who might have the same or similar experience in a way that you feel guilty about doing something to someone who is no longer here. So I want to tell you about my process and what I've been through. So yesterday when I was doing my healing, I sat down in contemplation and I realized that the most painful thoughts I have about her is that I want her to be alive so I can speak to her. That was really painful inside of me. And also that I want her to know that I appreciate her and that I love her, because I never get the chance to tell her. And for the first thought, I sat with that. I want to speak to her and I want her to be alive. And I realized that that's not true, because that's why it's hurting me. If I want someone to be alive and they are not, it's like having a psychosis. It's completely psychotic. It's like me wishing to have 3 arms when I only have 2. And I realized that she doesn't have to be alive so I speak to her. So I actually lit a candle and I wrote her a letter, a really vulnerable letter just for her, and I cried and I really connected with her spirit, and that was extremely healing for me. And just connecting to the truth, what is actually happening beyond those thoughts that are so attacking and so painful inside. And there was another one that was very painful, and that was I want her to know that I appreciate her and that I love her. And I also sat with that for a while, and I realized that actually I don't want her to know that I appreciate and that I love her, because it just felt like I just want to get off the hook. That has nothing to do with her. Actually, her knowing that I appreciate her and that I love her wouldn't be any helpful. And again, I want her to know that I love her and that I appreciate her. I can just do it now. So when I was writing that letter, I wrote exactly how I hurt her, and I was crying and I was really healing, and I said that I was so sorry for the pain that I caused her in our relationship, even though I was only 11. it's still with me. I told her about how I gossiped behind her back then and how sorry I was. And I just really connected. And also the thought about I want her to know that I appreciate her and I want to know that I love her. That's also not true at all, because really it feels like I want to get off the hook. Actually, what I really want her to know that I judged her and that I depreciated her. So I wrote that in the letter and I let her know about it. And I just had to deal with my own pain around this and heal this. And then I did. And also another thing that came up was it was about the speaking to her. I really wish I spoke to her before she died. And what came up to me was that actually I can speak to her through all the women that I coach, through all the women that I help in their lives, because now my mission in my life is even more reinforced. It's even more strong, because when my friend died, she was alone. She was in so much pain and nobody knew that she was in so much pain. And this is what we do all the time. We pretend that we are okay and we hide that we are not so alone and we can cope and we are strong, and we don't expose what is actually happening. And so this is my mission. I want to really speak to women. So saying that, if you are a woman, maybe a professional woman who's just keeping yourself busy and distracting yourself all the time and feeling very independent and maybe resigned on your relationships, then please consider just shooting me a message through my website. I would love to talk to you and I would love to explore how I can support her. And I hope this little video helped you to show you that it's really easy to move through sadness. If you saw me yesterday and a couple of days ago, I was really crying a lot and processing. And now what I'm really left with is actually so much gratitude around my whole relationship with her. There is no guilt. It's just gratitude. It's my mission in the world is reinforced. And I just feel free and I feel so connected to her. I feel like she had a big purpose in my life. She came to me as a teacher and I'm just forever grateful. So thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video.